Hello, everyone. This is Janet Cato. I wanted to have a little recording for you all to talk about how to connect differently with your guides. Last time we did the yes or no response from Spirit, and that is a wonderful way to begin communication, but also the next thing I'd like to share with you is how they can help you all day, every day, throughout your day with little reminders and hints and nudges to make your life easier. And the guides are very, very interested in making your life easier so that you have more time, more joy, more happiness in your life for the things that really matter. So when we get annoyed and frustrated because we forgot something at the store, or we're running late, or can't find a parking space and all those things, it makes your life just a lot more stressful. And since our guides are here to help us, they also want to make our life easier and happier so that things run smoother and we have a greater connection with them and with our own spiritual purpose. So it is really important to remember that Spirit likes to help us with every little thing. There's nothing too mundane, there's nothing too ordinary, there's nothing too menial for them to help you with. They really do want to make your life happy. So, when I first started working with Spirit, I started asking them things to kind of see, asking them for things just to see how it worked, to see how well it would work. And so I started asking them, like, to wake me up 5 minutes before my alarm went off. And I would wake up exactly 5 minutes before my alarm went off every time I asked them to do that, until I asked them to stop. But I don't use alarms anymore very much, because when I ask them to wake me up at a certain time, they always do. And so those kinds of little things, those little things that make your life easier, or give them a way to help you that's unusual, build your confidence and trust in working with them. And building confidence and trust in working with them begins the path, begins your way of bringing a new dimension into your life, really. So when they wake me up in the morning, or they wake me up after a rest, or they remind me to do something, it's not like you're hearing a voice. They're not like shaking the bed to wake you up. Thank goodness. So it's just, you just naturally wake up. And when you get a reminder to do something or whatever, you just suddenly think of it. It's not like you're getting a voice. It's not like something is trying to, come in that is very abrupt or really strong energy. It's a very quiet energy. It's just like your normal, everyday, just think of something kind of thing. So working with them in this way, you can ask them for anything. So what I would do is I'd ask them to get me to work on time when there's heavy traffic, or I was really worried about it or anxious about it. It's amazing the way it can just, you'll get the nudge maybe to turn a different way or go a different route. And it's amazing how it just flows. It's not a big dramatic thing like they show in the movies. It's quiet, it's subtle, it's easy. It creates a path that just seems like, I just got here on time. Yeah, the traffic was terrible, but I suddenly got here. So it's very ordinary. It doesn't feel magical or dramatic. When a lot of psychics or spiritual people talk about their guides help them with something and they make a big show of it, it's really not that at all. It's so ordinary and so simple that it's easily ignored. It's easily passed over. It's easily forgot about. So when I asked the guides also if I had a list of things to do, I'd ask them to help me do all the things that I needed to do. If I had to call someone back that day, if I had to, a list of things that needed to be done, I would ask them to help me remember to do them, help me make my life easier, and so on. So if I had to call someone back, I would say, tell me when. I'd ask my guides this way. I would say, tell me when to call them back. Give me the perfect time to call them back. And to this day, and this was 20 years ago, easily, to this day, I still have perfect timing in calling people back. So it is, and asking them to keep me, on track when something needs to be done. Asking them to help, to remind me what I need when I'm at the grocery store. That will really help as well. So little things like that. Remind me what I need to do today. Remind me what to get me there on time, and so forth. But also we can have them help us with relationships or difficult problems. If you're going to have a meeting with your boss you're worried about, you can ask them to help make that easier. Help that communication go smoothly. Help you leave that meeting happy. However you want that to play out, you can ask them to help with that. So asking them to help with things that seem difficult is another level of working with the guides. So ask them to help you with anything you think is troublesome. If you think something's wrong with your car, ask them to help you get that repaired easily. If you think you're going to have trouble paying a bill, ask them to make it easy to pay the bill. And so on and so on and so on. Keep asking and asking for everything. And they will make a life of ease for you. The only thing they won't help with, even if you ask, is if it's something that actually serves your highest good. So if you're having a difficult time, at work, that may be on purpose to help you leave your job, make it easier for you to leave your job. If you're having a difficult time with a relationship, it might be time to end the relationship, and you've asked for help and you're not getting it. That may be because you're holding on to something that no longer supports you, that no longer serves your highest good, that no longer helps you. So when they don't help with something that you're asking for help with, that experience is valuable to you on some level. So we have to have the amount of trust with Spirit to really know when something's not working out. Ask Spirit what else needs to be done. Ask Spirit to help guide you and inspire you to make it easier, or to tell you which direction you need to go to have the happiness you have been asking for in your life. So it sounds a little complicated, but just start with waking up in the morning. Just start with reminding you when to call someone. Just start with the simple things first. And then as you progress and as you start working with this energy and asking them for help with more complicated things, more complicated relationships or situations in your life, the job, the money, the love life, whatever, then you'll trust them. Then you'll know. You'll have so much clarity on going forward. But starting with the small things will help with the big things. So ask them to get you that parking space. If you're going to a place that has very little parking, say, please help me find a parking space. Please, if you're going to the store, after a few times of going to the store and trying this with the list and asking them to remind me what I needed to get that's not on my list, then I started going without a list and just asking Spirit to guide me, to remind me to get everything I needed. And they would. And this is extraordinary. Now, the energy of them telling you what you need, again, is not like a big voice. It's just like, oh, I need this. Oh, I need that. And sometimes it'll be an urge to get something. I feel like I need to get more butter, but I don't know why I need to get more butter. That kind of thing. So when we act on faith, so when we follow through, so the grocery store is a good example of this because it's something that we can get the hit, or the urge to do without really knowing why we need to do it. So if you feel like you have plenty of butter at home, but you're still getting the urge to buy more butter, buy more butter. This is the act of faith. And as you start working with that and start feeling more at ease with it, more and more things will come to you to help you in your life. Now, the caveat is sometimes the ego will pretend to be spirit urging you on. There's a whole different energy when it's your ego as versus when it's spirit. When it's spirit, it feels gentle. It feels maybe like an urge or a desire, a very subtle one, but it doesn't have fear behind it. Like, if I don't get butter, bad things will happen. Like, you don't have that energy of, oh my gosh, I better do this or else. If you feel, oh my gosh, I better do this or else, it's not your spirit guide. Because your spirit guide never has an or else. It's always loving, it's always supportive, it's non-judgmental. So there's not an or else. Well, you better do this. You better, whatever. So, and the spirit doesn't judge you if you, want to have a gallon of ice cream or whatever. It doesn't matter. So spirit's going to guide you to what helps you and supports you in the moment, even if it's something that isn't, absolutely healthy for you. So they will always be supportive. Now, the ego is the judge. The ego is the doubter. But the ego also creates fear. So when it's your ego saying, oh, you better buy this, you're going to feel a little bit of fear behind it that if you don't, bad things will happen. And the opposite is, if you do buy that thing, bad things will happen. So the energy of the ego is judgmental and fear-based, and the spirit energy is always light and joyful, and you'll feel perhaps an urge or a nudge to do something, but it won't have, dire consequences behind it if you don't do it. Spirit has no agenda other than your happiness and support and love. They don't. If you want to do something that's bad for you, Spirit will actually support you until you figure it out. So they will help you do what you want and have what you want in your life. Eventually you'll figure out that may not be in your highest good, but Spirit will support you. But they won't do anything that'll take you off track from what you've designed in your life to come here to do. So they won't offer up anything that is, or even answer a request for something that's not in your highest good to do. So a lot of people wonder why psychics or spiritual people don't win the lottery if Spirit's so great and Spirit can do that kind of thing, which they actually can. But if it's not in our highest good to win the lottery, we're not going to win the lottery. Money is a wonderful motivator for us to expand and grow in our lives. So when we have all the money we want, we may not expand and grow in our lives. So it is a little tricky, but sometimes they won't give us everything we want, but they will help us get what we ask for. So if we do want to feel truly, the only reason that we want a lot of money in life is to feel secure in the world, to feel safe and cared for, and to not have any stress about losing everything or not having enough money or not having a place to live and so forth. So all money really is security for most people. And it doesn't, change a lot, except for it makes us feel more secure. So instead of asking for more money, we can ask to feel secure in life. We can ask to feel supported. We can ask to not have fear over losing everything, over being homeless, or over, you know, being poor or whatever. Let's forget that fear. Let's just feel secure in the world. Like this is our world and we are welcome here and we are secure and we are safe here. So if we ask for things like that, get down to what we're truly asking for when we're asking to win the lottery, then we can really work with spirit on another level. We understand our own psyche and why we're asking for what we're asking, and then they can take us to the next level of, okay, now you feel totally secure in the world. You know you are cared for. And you know you're cared for by these simple things that you've been asking for. You know that they are always with you and helping you. And then when you ask for the more complex things, you understand why you're asking for the more complex things. And they can guide you through those things as well. And, eventually through things that are really trying or really that have created suffering in your life, like traumatic experiences, health issues, and so on. But it all starts with asking for that alarm. It all starts with asking for getting the right thing at the grocery store and knowing how this energy is going to work for you. And this is a very exciting thing to do. It's very fun. And have fun with it. The guides are there for every seemingly menial thing and mundane minutia to help you live a better, happier, healthier, and more joy-filled life. So I welcome your comments, your likes, your questions, your sharing this, and I hope you all have a beautiful, wonderful, happy day. Take care, everyone. Until next time.